I think you could call this a dog's tale about abundance. Now, a quick caveat. I have never owned a dog. If you are a dog owner or dog lover, that's probably going to be abundantly clear in just a few seconds. This happened 15, 16 years ago. Dan and I were living here at the farmhouse with our 4 acres, and Dan's cousin was going to be honeymooning for a long weekend in Wisconsin Dells near us and asked if we would dog sit their 1-year-old dog. And we said, sure. They said that they'd bring their long leash, that we could tie it up and it could be outside on our property all day and roam on the leash. And then we could crate it when it came inside our small house. The dog's name was Kitsu. Everything went great. Kitsu enjoyed being outside all day. We'd take Kitsu for a walk. We'd put it in the crate when it came in. Day 1 went fine. Day 2 went fine. Day 3, I'm here. I walk outside thinking I'm going to take Kitsu for a walk, and Kitsu is gone. Leash is still attached to the pole. Collar is attached to the leash. Collar is not attached to the dog. To say that I panicked would be an understatement. I looked around and I saw Kitsu off on our property and I started yelling, Kitsu, come, come. Needless to say, Kitsu didn't come. So I started to walk towards Kitsu, saying, come here, Kitsu, come here, Kitsu. Kitsu didn't come. Now you have to understand, we live on a corner. There's a county highway on one side of our property and then the road we live on, and we do not have a fenced property. So suddenly Kitsu's starting to get closer to the busy county highway, and I'm really panicking now. And so I start running towards Kitsu. No, Kitsu, no, no, no. Well, of course, as soon as I started running towards Kitsu, Kitsu thought it was a game and started running away from me, closer to the road. And I'm panicking. Oh my gosh, scary stories are playing in my mind. We're going to kill their dog. Oh my gosh. And so I'm running and I'm crying and I'm pleading, come here, Kitsu, come here, Kitsu. And he just starts running all over our property, away from the road, yay, heading towards our orchard. And I'm chasing after him. I mean, seriously, if we could have had an episode of Funniest Home Videos, I probably would have won, because here I am chasing after this little dog all over our property, crying, screaming, yelling, pleading, praying. Nothing is working. And then Kitsu starts running back in the direction of the road, and I'm panicking again. And finally, exhausted, I just can't keep up. And I just collapse on what we call our back 40, tears streaming down my face, praying to God, please, please don't let him run into the road. Please, please, please. I stopped chasing Kitsu, and Kitsu stopped running away from me. And I just sat there, absolutely exhausted and desperate and pleading. And I caught my breath. And Kitsu just looked at me from afar. And after I caught my breath a little bit, I just said, please, Kitsu, come. It wasn't immediate, but Kitsu started to move towards me, a little curious. And I just stayed still because I had tried the chasing thing and I was finally catching on that wasn't working. And I waited. And I kept saying a prayer and I calmly kept saying, come here, Kitsu, come here. And I waited. And he slowly, slowly came closer. And then when he got really close, and it would have been tempting to reach out and grab it, I waited. I waited. I waited. And I just held out my hand, open palms. And Kitsu came up and sniffed it. And I still waited, as tempting as it was to grab that collar. And when he started licking my hand, I grabbed his collar, said a prayer of thanks, and dragged him back to put him on the leash. Actually, I didn't even do that. I put him in the crate. Now, that experience I've never forgotten that experience, because it was such a mirror up for me in so many areas of my life, especially when it comes to money. And I know it's true for a lot of people. That thing that we want, that money, that getting out of debt, that success, the dream house, whatever it is, so often we're so busy chasing it exhausting ourselves in the process, desperate, pleading, hoping, working so hard, thinking that's what we need to do, that if we could just work harder or more efficiently or faster, we could just do more, somehow we're going to get the thing that we want, and we won't have to feel afraid anymore because we'll have the money we need and all that sort of stuff. And usually there's going to come a point, like with me with Kitsu, where you've tried the chasing, you've tried the pushing, you've tried the forcing, you've worked really hard, you've worked more efficiently, you've done this thing and that thing and that thing, and it's still not working. You're just exhausted. And you just collapse and say, Uncle, I give up. Now, in some respects, that's a holy moment, because the moment you give up your chasing, you're now open to start receiving what the source of all life and abundance wants to give you. And you have to be willing to wait. That doesn't mean you're doing nothing, but it means you've given up the chase. You recognize that the chasing and the pushing and the forcing and the doing all the things isn't working. It's not giving you, probably not giving you the money you want, but it's not giving you the peace and the freedom and the well-being and the joy you want. There's a holy moment where we go, I give up. I give up. Not that we're giving up our desire for freedom and joy and well-being and even the money that we want, but we're giving up the chasing and the trying to make it happen. And we've opened ourselves to what is going to show up and come to us to support us. That's the process, my friends. We've all been there. We've all chased it. We've all tried to make it happen. We've all exhausted ourselves in the process. If you've gotten to one of those points where it's like, I'm done, Uncle, I give up, not on your desires, not on your dreams for freedom and joy, but on the doing it your way, on the fear-based chasing it, chasing it, chasing it, and you're ready to open, to receive, to learn a different way, then let's connect. Let's connect, because I've got something to offer you. I've got some support that can help you. Ideally, connect with me in a one-on-one free discovery session. But if you're not ready for that, that's okay. Then check out my free Scarcity Exposed webinar that's coming up, because in it, you'll see how we are all set up for the chase. And how so often our giving up includes giving up our dreams and our desires. That's not what we have to give up, my friends. We just have to give up the struggle, the chase, the pressure, the trying to make it happen, the trying to catch Kitsu, instead of letting Kitsu come to me.